Have you ever wondered how we are able to choose between eating an apple or a bar of chocolate? Do you remember this jingle?
Kiss me, close your eyes.
Or this one?
पहले ट्विस्ट करो टिक करो
What about your dad's phone number? Or your most favorite birthday? You must be wondering, why am I asking such random questions? Have you ever thought about how we think, or remember things, or forget things? So many questions and so much thinking to do. Let me just cut to the chase. I'm talking about the control and coordination of our body done by the neuron. Neurons are fundamental units of the nervous system, specialized to transmit information to different parts of the body. They carry out this process in physical and electrical forms. The nervous system consists of nerves that branch out from the spinal cord which connects to the brain. Our brain controls nearly everything that happens within our bodies. Hence, it is known as the coordinating center. Location and components. Since our brain has such a complex structure, our bodies are designed in a way where the brain sits in a bony box called the cranium. This box contains a liquid which is shock absorbent, hence protecting the brain from any sort of damage. Our brain is made up of fats, proteins, carbohydrates, water, and salts. Fats make up 60% while the rest takes up 40% of the brain. An adult's brain weighs 1.5 kg, making up 2% of our body weight. The brain functions by sending and receiving chemical as well as electrical signals throughout our body. Parts of the brain. Our brain is divided into three main parts: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. Functions of the forebrain. The forebrain is the largest part of the brain, and this is where major thinking happens. It controls the voluntary actions taking place in our body. The forebrain controls the five senses like vision, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. It initiates and coordinates movement while also controlling emotions, thoughts, and understanding. Functions of midbrain. The midbrain is responsible for the involuntary actions taking place. It connects the forebrain to the hindbrain. Functions of the hindbrain. The hindbrain is further split into three parts: cerebellum, pons, and medulla. Cerebellum is responsible for precision of voluntary actions, posture, and balance. Pons regulates respiration, and medulla controls the involuntary actions like blood pressure and salivation. Functions of the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. Our body temperature, sleep synchronization, hunger, and thirst are all controlled by the hypothalamus located right above the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, which is a pea-sized structure, is also known as the master gland, as it governs functions of other glands and is responsible for the flow of hormones and the overall growth in our body. Did you know males have a slightly larger brain than females? Despite the size difference, both brains are more alike than they are different. Do you remember everything I've told you so far? Probably not. Let's fix that by looking into how memory works. Memory. Memory occurs in stages, which gives us valuable insight into the inner workings of the brain. Types of memory. The brain has three types of memory processes: sensory register, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory register. Our brain obtains information through visual and auditory cues. also known as iconic and echoic memory that lasts a few seconds. For example, when you watch fireworks, you see bright, colorful bursts of light in the sky. After the fireworks explode, you might still have a brief, vivid mental image of the shapes and colors. This is called iconic memory. Remember the jingle we played earlier?
Kiss me. Close your eyes.
That is an example of an echoic memory, when you're able to hear something in your mind without it actually being heard in real life. Short-term memory. Short-term memory occurs by giving your attention to the information received through sensory register. They are of two types: short-term memory and working memory. Short-term memory is when the brain stores information temporarily so it can be repeated. For example, phone numbers. Working memory is when the brain stores information for the purpose of manipulating it. Example, mental map. Long-term memory. Long-term memory allows the brain to store information for an extended period of time, like a day, a week, or last as long as lifetime. You remember implicit memories automatically, for example, driving a car. Explicit memories are of two types: episodic and semantic. Episodic memories are events that happen to an individual, whereas semantic memories contain general knowledge. So, in this video, we learned about what a neuron is, role of the brain, its location and components, the different parts of the brain and its functions, what memory is, and what are the different types of memory and how they work. This brings us to the end of the video. Keep learning and stay brainy.